Greetings YouTube, this is my laptop Bob, and when it's lying flat on the table it doesn't quite give me the position I want for typing. So I grabbed a piece of scrap wood just to try something out to see if I could actually raise it up a little and prefer that angle to being flat on the table, and I do. Unfortunately you can see here that if this wood is touching the table, it's only going to be contacting the computer in one spot. And if it touches the computer flat, it only touches the table in one spot. That's a problem, because it's not stable. So, I've been looking at this issue, and realizing that if I had an object which only had 2 points of contact, one on the computer and one on the table, that would be the best design. And a couple of ways you could do that. One is a triangle, which I don't have access to a triangular shaped piece of wood. And the other possibility is that piece of wood behind the computer, which is a section of closet pole, which I had for putting poles in a closet, and I had a piece left over. So I'm going to take a piece of that and cut it to it is just going to catch the little feet here, so that it's just going to be shy of coming beyond the computer, so it'll catch those. And then I'm going to see if I can install an anti-roll device so that the rod I'll be installing will not roll away or roll forward a great deal, so that I can have a little more stability. Now, since I'll be using the computer keyboard and pushing in that direction towards my hand, I will probably only need an anti-roll device on this side of the shaft. And I think I've come up with a way to do that fairly simply, with like only having to maybe drill a single hole, which would be nice. Next step up is going to be taking some measurements and then cutting a piece of rod. So here we are in my kitchen. We have my pull saw, and I've set up my clamp to hold this to my kitchen table. And I didn't actually have to take any proper measurements. I didn't have to break out a tape measure or anything. I just put the rod against the computer and marked where I think the proper length is going to be, because, you know, this is not rocket surgery. So if I'm off by, you know, 1/8 of an inch, it's not going to matter. So the next step is going to be to cut that piece off. So here we have the cut piece of rod in position, and as I predicted, if I sit at the computer and I push on it, it does roll. Let me put the camera down so you can actually see this. It does roll in that direction. So I need to actually create an anti-roll device to keep it from turning away from me, and I think I have come up with a simple solution that will achieve that end. So next up, set that up. I am into the simplest solutions that I can find. So my simple solution is to install a single screw, and I picked this one because, well, it's relatively attractive. It's also relatively short, so I'm not going to have to worry about it going too far into the this shaft, and particularly splitting the wood, because this is only pine. And to make sure that I reduce that chance as much as possible, I'm breaking out my old school drill and just going to drill a little pilot hole so that it will not split the wood. And I'm using my clamp here just to keep it from rolling while I am drilling. So next up, drill a tiny little hole. I actually used this thing yesterday to drill 2 holes through a 2x4, because I only had to drill 2 holes, and I was installing a U-bolt outside. And I'm like, I didn't want to break out my power drill and my extension cord and all that happy horse pucky. So I just broke out my old school hand drill here, and it worked admirably. So here's the camera on the table, and here's the computer, now no longer moving away from me when I want to push against that shaft. And the front feet hold it from moving forward, though I'm not really going to pulling the computer towards myself while I'm typing, so I can still type, though I don't type like that. I type like that. I type with 2 fingers because I'm I'm not very good at typing. Never have been. So there you have my quick and dirty solution to keeping my computer elevated and keeping my computer from rolling away from me in an unstable manner. So that shaft I came up with is a whole lot better solution than this piece of scrap wood. Though this was a good test subject that I just happened to have kicking around. I cut this originally as a stake. My wife wanted a wooden stake for something in the yard. And so I cut this, and she never needed it, so I just used it as a piece of scrap wood, and discovered that it held the computer up roughly the height I wanted it to be at. But it was very unstable because, you know, it's a rectangle. So now I have a reusing a piece of scrap wood, and I have a simple solution. Will fit into my gear bag with my computer without a problem. It's gonna be no muss, no fuss, no moving parts. Nothing can break, and I suppose if I needed to, I could use it as a club. You know, what the heck? Multitasking, woohoo!